I've recently found myself in a position where there's something I want to do, but I have to wait to do that thing because of certain circumstances. This often reminds me of what spiritual masters do with their students. In the book Inner Engineering, Sadhguru says, generally, on the path of Kriya, most gurus make the disciples wait. Traditionally, when students went to a guru to learn Kriya Yoga, they might well have told to sweep the floor for a year, and then wash the dishes for another. And if their trust still did not waver, then the guru might consider initiating them into the Kriyas. There is a reason for this. Want to empower people in a particular way that makes their system vibrant beyond normal standards, they can cause great damage to themselves if their attitudes and emotions are not as they should be. But in today's world, to get that kind of time with people, to arrive at that kind of trust and then imprint these kriyas is difficult. It is not impossible, but the chances are remote. I thought that was really interesting because in another book, that actually happens where a master makes his student do menial chores first to gauge his trust. Once, when a disciple came to a master to be disciplined in the art of fencing, the master, who was in retirement in his mountain hut, agreed to undertake the task. The pupil was made to help him gather wood for kindling, draw water from the nearby spring, split wood, make fire, cook rice, sweep the rooms and a garden, and generally look after household affairs. There was no regular or technical teaching in the art. After some time, the young man became dissatisfied, for he had not come to work as a servant to the old gentleman, but to learn the art of swordsmanship. So, one day, he approached the master and asked him to teach him. The master agreed. The result was that the young man could not do any piece of work without any feeling of safety. For when he would begin to cook rice early in the morning, the master would appear and strike him from behind with a stick. When he was in the midst of his sweeping, he would be feeling the same blow from somewhere and from an unknown direction. He had no peace of mind. He had to always be on the qui vive. Some years passed before he could successfully dodge the blow from whatever source it might come. But the master was not quite satisfied with him yet. One day, the master was found cooking his own vegetables over an open fire. The pupil took it in his head to avail him of this opportunity. Taking up his big stick, he let it fall on the head of the master, who was then stooping over the cooking pan to stir its contents. But the pupil's stick was caught by the master with the cover of the pan. This opened the pupil's mind to the secrets of the art, which had hitherto been kept from him. He then, for the first time, really appreciated the unparalleled kindness of the master. While I haven't had a master-student relationship like this myself, I found myself in a somewhat similar situation. There's this event I want to go to learn a certain type of practice called Shambhavi Mahamudra. But due to current circumstances, I can't. And I have to wait until post-November or even afterwards to even register for such an event. And I find that this is an interesting parallel between me having to wait to learn something of value and the students having to wait to learn something from their masters. Although I am not being beaten with a stick.